Hello, I'm Thomas and I'm a customer success engineer here at Radiocrafts. Today I'm going to show you how to install the RIIM SDK, the Software Development Kit, in order to get started using our RIIM modules. Go into the manual. This is available online, and go into RIIM User Manual, SDK Setup, and in this case I'm installing for Windows, so go into Windows Setup. You will need several tools in order to use the RIIM SDK. The first tool you will need is GNU Embedded Toolchain for ARM, and there is a link in the manual to that. Make sure that you use the AA Arch 32 bare metal target ARM non-EAB variant, and you will use the 11.3 RHEL 1 version. So if you go to that link and download that, you will have to scroll down quite a bit, and then you will find the installer for that. It takes some time to download. When running the GNU Toolchain installer, select your language. I will here choose English. Then you will have to go through the installer and agree to the user With the installation completed, it is very important to press the Add Path to Environment variable. That box must be selected. Without it, the compiler won't work with the SDK. Then press Finished, and we will go on to installing CMake. You will also need CMake, the compiler. So go to CMake and download the latest version of CMake. I would want the installer for Windows x64. That is the version most Windows users would want to have. So download this as well. It will also use some time to download. We will in the same way install CMake. Start the installer, then press Next. Accept the terms in the license agreement. And make sure that you add CMake to the system path for all users. There is no need for a desktop icon in order for the RIIM SDK to work, but CMake must be added to path for all users. Then press Next and install, and let it work its way through. Then press Finish. For the next part, we will need to install Python. Go to python.org, Downloads, and Download for Windows. You should have the latest version of Python, and the download for this should be fairly fast. Run the installer. Make sure that you add python.exe to path. and then do install now. If you have a Windows machine or a new one, you may want to disable the path length limit. And then click Close. Start a regular command window, and in that window type pip. It should then give you out the commands for pip, the package manager in Python. We will need to install Ninja by doing pip install Ninja. If you do not have pip, you will need to install this from Python homepage separately. With this installed, we will also need an editor program, and Radiocrafts use Visual Studio Code. This we recommend that you get from the Windows Store, so we will go and install that. In the Microsoft Store, in the search bar, type in VS Code, and you should find Visual Studio Code as one of the available products. This is a free software, and you can install that using Microsoft Store. Start VS Code, and then from our home page you should have downloaded the SDK folder. Just unzip this to your computer, then go into File, open Workspace from File, and navigate into your RIIM folder. There should be a code workspace file there that you can open. With this, the first time you open this, it will ask you if you trust the authors of these files. Then you must press yes. With this in, you should have the RIIM workspace. You should have the framework files and the easy applications. In easy applications, you will find example files. In this case, I will upload the UDP example, and I can go into the example UDP, open the source file, the source folder, and then open the border router code. The first time you open this, it will ask you if you trust the authors of these files. Then you must press yes. With this in, you should have the RIIM workspace. You should have the framework files and the easy applications. In easy applications, you will find example files. In this case, I will upload the UDP example, and I can go into the example UDP, open the source file, the source folder, and then open the border router code. The first time you open this, it will ask you if you trust the authors of these files. Then you must press yes. With this in, you should have the RIIM workspace. You should have the framework files and the easy applications. In easy applications, you will find example files. In this case, I will upload the UDP example